One of the biggest changes coming to Formula One isn't actually the new cars themselves, but how the drivers will manage their energy. And if you spent years playing any of the F1 games using ERS modes like Medium, Hotlap, and Overtake, you can forget almost everything you know. The new F126 DLC introduces a completely different philosophy along with the F126 regulations. And that philosophy is all about battery management. So today, we're going to break down every energy mode in the F126 DLC and explain exactly what it does, when you should use it, and most importantly, how to use it strategically over an entire race. Because trust me, when you race in the 26 DLC, the fastest drivers won't be the ones with the best pace, they'll be the ones who manage their energy the smartest. So let's get into it. In the previous F1 games, you could often get away with simply running aggressive ERS settings throughout most of the race, making up for it when time allowed, and that's not going to work anymore. Think of the new system like managing fuel strategy or tire strategy, but at the same time. Every time you use that extra power, you're borrowing performance from your future self. The question becomes, do you spend it now to gain track position or save it for later when you really need it? And that's going to be the challenge that the F126 DLC is introducing. Let's start with the mode most players will probably overlook, None. If you've played F125, think of None as a more extreme version of energy conservation. In the old system, none meant you weren't actively deploying your ERS. The battery would slowly recover through braking zones and harvesting. In F126, the concept becomes far more important. The new cars depend heavily on electrical power, so spending time in none mode is essentially preparing for a future attack. Think of it as the equivalent of recharge mode in the new regulations. You're not trying to be fast right now, you're building energy reserves for later. Next comes medium. For most players, this is going to be your default setting. In F125, Medium provided balanced deployment and harvesting. You gained some performance while maintaining reasonable battery levels. That same philosophy carries into the 2026 regulations and the 26 DLC. Think of Medium as your standard race pace mode. You'll be deploying enough electrical energy to remain competitive while still harvesting enough to avoid draining your battery. You use Medium when running in clean air, maintaining position, managing a race stint, following another car without attacking, settling into race rhythm. If none is like your savings account, Medium would be like your checking account. You're spending a little while still replenishing what you're using. Most race laps will probably be run here. And if Medium mode is about balance, then Hotlap mode is about speed. This is the most aggressive deployment mode available in the F126 DLC, sending maximum electrical power to the rear wheels to help you find every possible tenth of a second. It's perfect for qualifying laps, chasing a personal best, or making one final push at the end of a session. The downside? It burns through energy incredibly quickly. Think of it as sprint mode. Not a marathon, this is pure outspeed. Use it when lap times matter more than energy conservation. Boost mode is your attack button. Unlike Hot Lap, which spreads energy deployment around an entire lap, Boost is designed for one purpose, making a pass. It unleashes the maximum amount of electrical energy available, giving you a huge burst of acceleration when you need it most. The catch? Timing is everything. Boost consumes energy faster than any other mode in the game. If you leave it activated too long, you can burn through an entire battery charge in just a few seconds. And that's why the best drivers don't use Boost everywhere. They save it for the exact moment it matters most. Exiting a slow corner, pulling alongside another car in a straight, or defending against an attack. Use it too early, and you'll run out of energy before the move is complete. Use it at the perfect moment, and it can be the difference between finishing the pass and getting stuck behind another car. Technically, Active Aero isn't really an energy mode, but it's impossible to discuss one without discussing the other. The 2026 cars feature two primary aerodynamic states, corner mode and straight mode. Corner mode provides maximum downforce, maximum grip, maximum confidence. Straight mode reduces drag and increases your top speed. What's fascinating is how Active Aero works together with the energy system. Imagine two cars on the same straight. One is simply using straight mode, the other is using straight mode plus boost. The second car is going to be significantly faster. Now add overtake mode on top of that. The performance difference becomes even larger. This creates a much more dynamic racing environment, and drivers aren't simply opening a rear wing anymore. They're actively managing multiple systems simultaneously to keep the car moving around the track. And that's where strategy becomes incredibly important. The hierarchy looks like this. None, save energy. Medium, maintain energy. Hotlap boost, spend energy. Overtake, spend it all. That's the easiest way to understand the entire system. How should you actually manage these systems during a race? Let's break it into phases. The attack phase. You're chasing another car. Use straight mode. Use boost. Use overtake when the opportunity presents itself to pass. This is when you're spending energy. Then we have the defensive phase. Someone's attacking you. Use boost strategically on corner exits. Protect track position. Don't burn your entire battery defending a position you may lose anyways. Then we have the recovery phase. Recharge, harvest energy, prepare for the next battle. Tire management phase. Use moderate deployment, focus on consistency, allow your battery reserves to rebuild. And then we have the final phase, the last few laps. This is where all that discipline pays off. If you've managed energy properly throughout the race, you can unleash everything. Boost, overtake, aggressive deployment, attack mode. The drivers who planned ahead will have options. The drivers who spent everything early won't. So if there's one thing we take away from this video, it should be this. The biggest challenge with the 26 DLC won't be driving faster. It's going to be thinking smarter. Boost wins corners, overtakes win battles, and recharge wins races. The drivers who understand that balance are going to separate themselves from the field very quickly. And personally, I think this could be one of the most interesting gameplay changes we've seen in years because it adds another layer of strategy beyond tires, fuel, setup, etc. You're now managing resources that directly affect your car's ability to attack and defend throughout the entire race. What are your thoughts? Does the new DLC add an exciting strategic element or just overcomplicate things?